Anis mute. Anis mute. Yes.
Good afternoon to one and all present here. Welcome to the opening ceremony of Titik Temu, joint collaboration between HDII DKI Jakarta and UiTM University Teknologi Mara, Malaysia. Titik Temu is a special collaborative program international design lab competition event by Himpunan Desainer Interior Indonesia, HDII DKI Jakarta, and Center of Studies for Interior Architecture, CSIA. Today, we all have gathered here to this event, opening ceremony and webinar with session topic, Interior Design in Endemic Era, presented by UiTM and HDII DKI Jakarta with Domus Academy in Milan. Introduce myself first. I'm here as the MC. I am extremely honored and feel privileged to have given the opportunity to address on this special occasion. My name is Anis Alkuratuaini Walls, SSN HDII, and I am an interior designer and previous HDII DKI Jakarta chairman in 2007 to 2009. Introduction of HDII. HDII, or Himpunan Desainer Interior Indonesia, is a registered professional organization representing interior designer in Indonesia. Mrs. Rina Renville is a chairperson of HDII DKI Jakarta period 2009-2022. Hi, Mrs. Rina Renville. Thank you. Introduction of UiTM. The Center of Studies for Interior Architecture was established in 1975 in Shah Alam as the Center of Studies of Interior Design and was a pioneer interior design education in Malaysia. The Center of Studies changed its name to the Department of Architecture in 1997. Center of Interior Architecture for Interior Architecture is one of the programs in the Faculty of Architecture, Planning and Surveying. Now, I would like to present to you Faculty of Architecture Planning, our surveying dean, Professor Town Planner, Dr. Jamalun Laili Abdul. Please wave to the camera. And I would like to present to you CSIA Head of Program, Dr. Maizura Ahmad Nurhani. Please wave to the camera. Today, we would like to introduce a university. Today's opening ceremony is all about collaboration in between HDII DKI Jakarta and UiTM, University Teknologi Mara, Malaysia, and collaborated with 8 Indonesian universities in Jakarta. And we are proudly present and welcome our 8 teams from 8 universities in Jakarta. First of all, Esa Unggul University, Karna Mustaqim PhD, Fakultas Desain dan Industri Kreatif Universitas Esa Unggul. Second, Bina Nusantara, BINUS, Danendro Adi, SSN M-Arts, School of Design, Universitas Bina Nusantara. 3. IKJ, Anindyo Widito, SSN MSN, Fakultas Seni Rupa dan Desain, Institut Kesenian Jakarta. 4. Taruma Negara University, Dr. Kurnia Setiawan, SSN M.Hum, Fakultas Seni Rupa dan Desain, Universitas Tarumanegara. 5. UMB, University Mercubuana, Dr. Aryani Kusumo Wardani, MDSCS, Faculty of Art and Creative Arts, Fakulti Desain dan Seni Kreatif. 6. LaSalle, Ketua STD Lasal Dr. Insinyur Haryadi B. Sukamdani, MM, Sekolah Tinggi Desain Lasal. 7. Trisakti University, Dr. Sangayu K. Laksmi N. MDS, Fakultas Seni Rupa dan Desain Universitas Trisakti. 8. STDI, Agus Iswahyudi, SSN MDS, Sekolah Tinggi Desain Interstudi. Please, it's be honor, please wave the camera, and thank you. Our program will do positive collaboration and design activities or workshop together. The program will be held until 27th of September 2021. Hope this collaboration not only for great friendship, but also to inspire and motivate young minds to showcase their talents and realize their potential. Hopefully, this great collaboration will give a positive impact to both parties, especially for friendship and sharing good knowledge. And today, we will have two guest speakers, Bapak or Mr. Effendi Nazri, presented by UiTM. Oi Hesagawa, presented by Domus Academy in Milan. And we would be delighted with their expertise and knowledge. Thank you, audience, speakers, committee, and sponsor to make sure everybody stay until until the webinar is finished. And now, this is the time for us listening our national songs. Indonesia Raya and Negaraku. Thank you so much for everyone. We just listening our national anthem. So please, we would like to ask all the deans to turn on the camera. Thank you. We welcome HDII DKI Jakarta, Mrs. Rina Renville, SSN HDII, for giving a welcome speech. Mrs. Rina, the floor is yours. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you very much for Anis for lovely introduction. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good afternoon and selamat siang semuanya. Honorable guests, Faculty of Architecture, Planning and Surveying's Dean, Professor Town Planner Dr. Jamalun Laili Abdullah, CSIA Head of Program Dr. Maizuro Ahmad Nurhani, Presiden HDII HDII Nasional Bapak Rohadi Sumadi, HDII Founder Ibu Naning Adiwoso, Profesor Dr. Insinyur Rostam Yaman International Affair UiTM, Nabilah Aris White Program Chairman UiTM. A very welcome to all of you who already attending today for opening ceremony of Titik Temu. I would like also welcome all Dean from 8 University in Jakarta, Bapak Karna Mustaqim PhD, Bapak Banendo Adi SSNM Arch, Bapak Anindo Widito SSN MSN, Bapak Kurnia Setiawan SSNM HUB, Ibu Aryani Kusumowardani, Dr. Insinyur Haryadi Sukamdani, Dr. Sangayu Laksmi, dan Bapak Agus Iswahyudi. A warm welcome for committees, ya. Selamat datang semuanya, lecturers, students from Malaysia and from Indonesia too, especially in Jakarta. Also HDI members too. Selamat siang semuanya. I'm actually very happy to present and very proud, ya, to present to you this program, A Moment of Collaboration. And it is an honor to form these collaborations between university, and we feel that it's really special opportunity for everyone for benefits as well. So this collaboration, especially between HDI Jakarta and UiTM, University Teknologi Mara, Malaysia. I would like to highlight the name of Titik Temu. Titik Temu is actually the name that contains such a powerful values about mutually benefiting and about surviving as an ecosystem. The name that shows how collaboration is a solution to crisis and a source of inspiration between each and every part involved. The name Titik Temu show that every player of the design creative industry has their own role and that they have their own added value to contribute to create the greater good. So Titik Temu is special collaborative program. It's actually international design lab and competition, an event by HDI Jakarta and Center of Study of Interior Architecture from UiTM Malaysia. So we present the topic of interior design in endemic era. So the crisis is also create the urgency to be aware to the environment around us, in the sense that collaboration should be accompanied by sustainability. And by this program theme of endemic, we highlight the importance of involve everyone in the ecosystem to that are happening in their own endemic scope. Yeah. So by the time they meet, they will be able to form not only bright solution but also the right solution. So I'm looking forward to see amazing interaction and moment of this collaboration, as we believe that this event is a great start of potential and future collaboration. And we believe that collaboration is more of a never-ending process, and that there will be always a next step of action to be done as an ecosystem. So I hope we can all also reach young designer, young minds, and also inspire presented by Domus for the coming presentation.
all the way to construction. Okay, so we are the most comprehensive built environment faculty in Malaysia, covering all aspects, from land surveying all the way until the design of the building itself. And we are located in 5 campuses in Shah Alam, Puncak Alam, Sri Iskandar, Kota Samarahan, and Arau. with total lecturers of about 3,600 and a student population of the faculty itself almost 16,000. So it's a big faculty in the built environment. And besides the centers of studies, we also have dedicated excellence center for Southeast Asia region. Study and research on the built environment is called Southeast Asia Built Environment Research Center. So under this, we call it CBER. So we have like about 15 research interest groups covering area like on the tropical and architecture, green safe city, tropical buildings performance research group, research disaster, sustainable heritage, and other components as well. So we like to invite our partners, universities in Indonesia, in Jakarta especially, to join us to do collaborative research under CBER, Southeast Asia Environment Research Center. Okay, and so for today's program is really a good initiative by both parties to conduct an international design collaboration and thus promoting a working partnership between the two institutions, between these institutions in the two countries, in Malaysia as well as in Indonesia. So the inaugural Design Lab +C 2021 program also marked our first little step in transboundary academic exercise, okay, which we conduct with Indonesia over virtual design studios. Okay, so previously it might be difficult due to the cost and also procedure-wise. So now it's under the pandemic here, so we can do something perhaps like encourage more people, especially our students, to join this collaboration, and basically we learn and help each other. Okay? And then so with this one, hopefully more knowledge will be shared. Okay, more discussion will be conducted among the two groups. Okay, so with the participation of discrete people from interior design fraternity, it is hoped that their professional point of view will be regarded as a learning process by all the participants and students involved. Okay, so best of luck to everyone. Jadi pada ibu-ibu, bapak-bapak Jakarta, terima kasih banyak ya. Dan semoga nanti kita bisa ketemu bersemuka di masa akan datang. Okay. Jadi terima kasih semua. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you very much, Bapak Profesor Town Planner, Dr. Jamalun Laili Abdullah. It's an honor to have you, Bapak. Thank you very much. And the next, we welcome the head of program, Dr. Nur Maizura Ahmad Nurhani. The time is yours. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala wabarakatuh. Dean of Faculty of Architecture, Planning and Surveying, Professor TPR Dr. Jamalun Laili Abdullah, Honorable Guest Ibu Rina Renville as Head of Himpunan Desainer Indonesia DKI Jakarta, HDII, Program Chair from Malaysia, Puan Nurul Nabilah Aris White, Program Chair from Indonesia, Mbak Rina Wiono, Professor, Associate Professor, Lecturers, and all the students. The International Design Lab and competition is jointly organized and hosted by Himpunan Desainer Indonesia DKI Jakarta, together with the Center of Studies for Interior Architecture UiTM Puncak Alam Selangor, Malaysia. This will be our first online collaboration event, sharing international webinars and exchanging design ideas
open it officially. Thank you.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Today we open and we start collaborations of Titik Temu, joint collaborations between HDII and UiTM. Congratulations.
Okay, please let's clap our hands together. Yeah, and now we have a 4 minutes video to HDII and in Malaysia. Okay, seems we have to wait for a while. Okay, that's all the video. It's absolutely wonderful. We can see together the mentors and then the students from all the 9 university. Hopefully it's going to be a very cool and happy collaboration for everybody. And now this is the time for the webinar started. Now we will start the webinar. We have 2 sessions and we welcome the guest speakers as our guest of honor for these 2 webinars. I am profoundly delighted to take an opportunity to introduce the guest speakers. Speaker Mr. Effendi Nazri, moderator Ms. Sarah Rahman, and the webinar will take 45 minutes. Mr. Effendi Nazri is the co-founder of EndoKL, established in 2017. From humble beginnings as a draftsman, he has since gone on to accumulate more than 15 years of experiences. He adores design that have a timeless aesthetic and Asian flair. Mr. Effendi often seeks new inspiration from his travels and by observing the behaviors of those around him. With not confining himself to any specific style, Mr. Effendi always looks to give his design a contemporary touch. And about the moderator for this first webinar is Ms. Sarah Rahman. She is a lecturer at Center of Studies for Interior Architecture, Faculty of Architecture, Planning and Surveying, University Technology Mara. Her areas of expertise: interior design, retail, and installation design. Her academic qualification, Master of Art in Interior Design, 2017, Royal College of Art, London, United Kingdom. Bachelor of Interior Architecture, 2013, UiTM Shah Alam, Malaysia. And now I will pass to moderator, Ms. Sarah Rahman. The floor is yours. 45 minutes. Thank you.
Thank you, moderator, Ms. Anis, for the kind introduction. I hope you can hear my voice clearly. Can you? Yeah?
Yeah.
All right. So good afternoon, everyone. My name is Sarah Rahman. I'll be the moderator for our first webinar today with our first presenter, Mr. Effendi Nazri from EndoKL, Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. So I'd like to welcome all designers, professionals, architects, academicians and students from Malaysia and Indonesia especially for joining our event today. So I believe our moderator, Ms. Anis, has introduced our speaker, Mr. Effendi Nazri from EndoKL. So I'd like to add that Mr. Effendi is also a UiTM alumnus, and he has been supporting us for quite some time now. So thank you so much, Mr. Effendi, for spending your time with us today. It is a great pleasure to have you with us. So our first webinar, Mr. Effendi will touch on the topic about reducing anxiety in living space through design. So his presentation will include some of his works, mainly the residential interior design projects. And the presentation explores the relation between anxiety and also the interior elements in living space. So as mentioned by our moderator, our session will take about 45 minutes. Yeah. So after the presentation, we will proceed with a Q&A session, a question and answer session. So during the presentation, if you have any questions, you can feel free to write it down in the comment section. If you're watching YouTube live, you can write it down in the comment section. And if you are with us in Zoom, you can write it down in the chat box. So, so our committee will look through into the questions and we'll discuss it after the presentation. So without further ado, I would like to pass this floor to our first speaker, Mr. Effendi Nazri. Effendi, I hope you're ready.
Yes, I'm good to go. Thank you very much.
No problem.
How's the audio?
Clear?
Good. Okay. May I share my screen now?
Yes, please.
Okay.
Okay, we can see your slide now.
good. Okay, hi, good evening, selamat sore to everyone here. Thank you for having me. It's an honor to be here. For someone who gonna speak about anxiety, I'm pretty anxious actually. So sorry if the audio or my voice is not that clear or shaking. Yeah. Okay. So today I'm gonna speak about how design can reduce anxiety in the living space. Before I start, I would like to say that all facts and opinion presented are meant for educational purpose only. It's my personal opinion and is nothing to do with style. If some slide will show other people's project, I hope you allow me to do so. So okay, I will start now. So, what is anxiety? So, according to American Psychological Association, it's an emotion characterized by feeling of tension, worry, and physical change like increased blood pressure. So, have you ever enter a space where you feel anxious and stressed because the design of the space? So, for example, you're afraid that things gonna fall, you're afraid that you will break things, glare, and so on. So those are anxiety in the space. And in this era of pandemic, where we constantly, in our own house, so the design itself will help to reduce the anxiety that you are feeling. So okay, I have these few images, and I would like. There's a few things that all these images have in common. Again, the images that I'm going to show is not talking about style, but the material that they use, the lighting that, and so on. So these are some of the images. So if you look at the first and second images, okay, let's talk about the first images. So this is again my personal opinion. So when I enter this space, I'll be constantly worried. One is because visually is too full, I would say, and then the lighting effect, too many LED, and the floor and materials are all shiny and polished. One thing I can imagine that the sound of this space, the acoustic of this space will be really terrible, because all this hard surface will reflect all the sound all over. And for example, okay, like this one in this toilet, they're using too many materials, too many LED, and so on. So those for someone who have glare problem like myself, I won't stay in this toilet for so long. So yeah, these are some of the common, all these spaces have common, too many patterns, too many LED, too many fragile and shiny surface. When you enter a space where there's too many glass and so on, you are constantly worried that you might break or you might fall, especially on the polished floor. So these contribute to anxiety. Okay, there's few topic that I'm going to talk about. The first one is spatial planning and design. Okay, the first one, in this era of pandemic, and a home should have a designated space that separate working, living, and resting. Quiet corner would be nice for some privacy and retreat, just to reduce your anxiety. So when I say resting, it's not just, I'm not referring to bedroom. So there's many other spaces that you can create to reduce it. It's for you to rest. For example, these two bathroom. One is the indoor bathroom with a bathtub where you can, whenever you feel stress, you can always relax in the bathtub. And for example, this is the second one. This is a semi-outdoor bathtub. Is outdoor yet is private, so no one else can see you but by yourself. The next one, for example, a room where you can exercise or do yoga with nothing else on the wall, so you can focus on rejuvenate yourself and reduce your anxiety. Another way is to have an semi-outdoor space. Again, when you connect with nature, you naturally will feel relaxed and calm. Another room that you can incorporate in the design is a hobby room. For example, a reading corner, a music room, art room, or a mix of all above, where you can have a music room, reading, and playing games and exercise as well. However, not everyone has this luxury of dedicated space for each activity. That's why adaptive layout is the way if you have a limited space, especially if you're staying in a condo or apartment. In this era of pandemic, open plan is no longer relevant, because when you have an open plan where you work there, you rest there, and everything in between in one space, you can't really focus on. If you want to rest, you can really focus. The noise will travel all around, and if you want to do work or you want to do a Zoom meeting, for example, you probably end up doing it in the laundry room or kitchen. So by doing an adaptive layout on the layout, you can the space can change easily. It's about a specific space in the house. It doesn't mean every single space needs to be an adaptive layout. This is one example. So, for example, this house. So, in the first image, you can see that it's an open plan where this is a living room and semi-outdoor space and a bedroom. Sorry, a bathroom. In the second layout, all we need to do is just to have a slidable panel and so on, which can slot in like this, a pocket door, and you can turn this into a bedroom. And so this is one example of adaptable layout. Okay, next is this is one of the projects that we are working on, which we apply adaptive layout in the design. So the image on the left is a living area. Client receive many guests. This is before pandemic, yeah. Receive many guests, and so, but at the same time, she want to have a private space as well, where she can enjoy her quiet time and a private time. And for example, because she's staying with her parents, and sometimes the parents' friends come over. So, but she want a private space as well. So this is where this slidable panel, pocket slidable panel, is a TV area and also a reading corner. So yeah, TV area and a reading corner. This is the slidable pocket panel. It's a semi-transparent panel. So you only can see slightly of who's inside, the occupant inside the space. The second layout, this is an open plan. This is another project that we are working on. So from image on the left, you can see that there's a living space. The one on the right is actually a courtyard where they can have their own. They can be an outdoor, yet it feels private. That's another thing. And from this image, you can see all the way to the dining area and the outdoor area at the back. So whenever, I mean, they want some privacy, or when there's a guest come over, so they can have, the panel can be slide like this with a semi-translucent glass. So there's two places that you can hang out, where one in the living room, one in the dining room. So this, like I say, but whenever you want to have a Zoom meeting, for example, both husband and wife need to have a Zoom meeting, or your kids want to have a Zoom meeting. So one can do it here, another one can do it in the dining area or the kitchen. Sorry, dry kitchen, where you have an island over here. So this is another way. This is not our project, but this is an image that I found on the internet. So this is another way to do a adaptive layout, where you can have a slidable panel using this plywood. So this can be any room. It could be a playroom, it could be a bedroom, or I mean just a meditation room, just by having this simple modification of the house. Another way, this is similar to I mean what hospital you can see in the hospital, where they just use a curtain just to separate the space. All right, the next one is maximizing opening. So opening is in this era of pandemic. Opening is really crucial. One, I mean, for the ventilation, because as you know, COVID is airborne. So without a proper ventilation in the house, it can spread, I mean, and dangerously. Yep. Okay, I'm going to show you. So this is one of the projects that we are working on. So the previous, the original, I wish I could show you the original design, but I think that there will be too many slides. So I'm just going to show you this is after. So what we did for this house, originally, the opening is only up to here when they have a double volume. So what we did was we maximized the window all the way up, and actually this is an operable window. This, you can see the line here. The bottom part is operable, and we introduced a few more opening on the right side, which is the window-based seating, and also the top part, the top. This one is non-operable. Okay, the next one is this is the kitchen, dining, and outdoor area, which adjacent to the pool area on the right. So again, the original design only have one opening here and just a small window on the left. So what we did was we turned everything into an operable window. So when there's a event or birthday, or they just simply want to have good ventilation, they can open up every single door all the way until the dry kitchen. So, okay, since the onset of pandemic, we received a lot of outdoor space, even though it's small or big or small project, doesn't matter. So people are crave for a small outdoor space, so they can, have rest whenever they're stressed and so on. So I'm going to show you this one project that we are working on. It's almost complete. So the original layout when we were there, this so-called courtyard doesn't exist. So it's just another storeroom, and the door here they seal it off. And when you enter the house, it feels very gloomy and the humid and the smell, because there's no opening. So even the smell also contribute to your anxiety. When you enter a space when it's too, you have this weird smell, you don't want to linger in the space for too long. So what we did for the house, they have a small compound on the right. So what we did was we create this so-called green lung, and we maximize the opening. There's opening here, 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 here. This one is just adjacent to the outdoor lepak area or pumpkin. So so it doesn't feel like you in an indoor space when you connect indoor and outdoor. So I will show you the images after this. So yeah, this is what we did. We introduced opening here, here, and here. So with operable louvers. So the wind can come in, the natural light, the natural ventilation will flow throughout the house. So currently the house feels very, very light and very airy, and it doesn't feel claustrophobic because there's a lot of opening now. So this is the view from here, overlooking. There's a courtyard here. Sorry, I don't have the proper image of the courtyard, but it's here and overlooking a small water feature here where they can rest and rejuvenate. This is the you see the narrow compound that they have, and people from the front can't really see this area. This is totally private, even though it's outdoor, it's totally private because we cleverly make a barrier. So because the occupant are wearing hijab, so she can just go out without having to worry any of the neighbor can see if she sees here. All right, the next one is negative space. Actually, there's nothing negative about negative space. Negative space is in interior design, it's like a breathing space where we crave in life. It's what makes the room feel comfortable and harmonious rather than cluttered and hectic. The easiest way to offend white space or is referred to an empty space. If we notice them at all, we think of it as empty, but nothing is ever truly empty in this negative space. Negative space is mostly often neutral and contrasting, focusing our attention on the main subject, the positive face. Providing a place, this negative space provide a place for the viewer eyes to rest. Without enough negative space, a composition can look busy and too many distracting elements, which contribute to anxiety. So this is our sample of some negative space you can see. So instead of putting every single thing at this entrance foyer, we only focus on here and here. The rest are all just white. So negative space, this is where you can a space where you have a place for you to breathe. Same goes to the left, the image on the right. Some would say it's very boring, but actually this is the negative space will make you feel calm and without having too many clutter element on the design. Even in the bedroom, a bedroom actually is one of the most important area where you can rest. You don't need to put so many things in the bedroom. One thing that I noticed, especially in many showrooms in Malaysia, where they tend to put every single thing just to make the space look full. If not, your design is, the developer will ask me, what am I paying for if the space is not full? So but actually, rooms should be simple. It's a place where you need to, it's the best place for you to rest. So don't put too many things in the bedroom. Right. The next one is color and materiality. Color is actually one of the main important elements. I believe everyone agree with this. It's not just make the room look pretty. Color have a strong psychology effect on our mood and our state of mind. Every different color evokes emotion in the viewer eyes to powerful psychological effect. So if you don't know how to play with colors, actually, you can use graphic design rules number 1 in your choosing a space. Use not more than 5 colors. Actually, 2 or 3 colors is the best in any space. And then color, for example, blue. Color blue can help you to feel relaxed, and this beige color or mute color can make you feel calm and so on. And the combination, if you want to use more than 3 colors, say 5 colors, we can use a very pale green and pale blue, so it doesn't have anything too shocking in the space. Even white, I say this is related back to the negative space. So as you can see, the highlight will be on the positive space where there's a view of the nature, and the color is very calming, it's very soothing and very subtle. So this automatically, when you enter the space, you will feel relaxed instead of stressed. Next is the material. So carefully selected material that help define and balance the space. It can play important role in our visual and mental perception of space. Natural material and neutral, the mute color palette is the recommended type of material that you can use to reduce anxiety. For example, this bedroom, this one is by Batma and Shi. So as you can see, he used all the natural material without any shocking color. It rely on this greenery, natural greenery outside, and the rest is all nude color. And the one on the right, as you can see, we use the same color palette throughout for the wet kitchen, and the floor, there's not too many elements. So basically, there's only three tone here, which is the terracotta, this dark stain, and the timber, and also the white background, of course. This is another example of natural color. The next material that I'm gonna show is actually acoustic material. So sound absorbent, good material can reduce the reverberation time, and also meant to reduce where they can absorb all this echo and so on. A long reverberation time can make a room sound loud and noisy and cause speed to muffle and muddy. This one relates back to the open plan just now. So because the sound will travel all the way and you feel really stressed with the echo and different noise that come from all over. So these are some of the material that we can use to reduce sound disturbance. Is a good acoustic material. The first one on the left, this is a vinyl floor with underlay. Vinyl is actually a composite of rubber and few other materials, so it absorbs sound. It reduces, especially if you're staying in a condo or apartment. This is one of the materials. Instead of using tiles, you may use vinyl, because one is economical material. Second, they have better acoustic profile. The one on the right is almost similar to the vinyl, but this is a laminate floor. Same, you need to put underlay in order to reduce the sound. Okay, another way to reduce sound traveling is to use a simple rug on the floor and curtain. So curtain and sheer, not just a good acoustic material, but they also reduce glare in the house. Yeah, so curtains and all blind, roller blind, all this soft finishing automatically will help with the acoustic to have a good acoustic in the space. Okay. The next one is design and details. Declutter. Storage is one of the most crucial elements for happy or organized living. So declutter is actually the easiest way to make this to have anxiety, to reduce anxiety in the space. When you go home when you can see too many things and everything's on the ground, so automatically you will feel stressed and anxious. Having a well-planned storage adds value to the space. So when I say about declutter, it applies to many things. For example, cleverly place a storage like this one is EDC storage, everyday carry storage. So this is the main entrance. So the first thing as they enter, they can put the daily use bag on the storage on the left. So automatically you don't have to bring your bag when you don't have a storage for all this EDC. You will put it on the floor, you put it on the chairs and so on. So by putting this, by designing a space where they can put EDC, it will help for you to declutter. The next one, when I talk about decluttering, a storage management and cable. I mean, if you see a space with too many cable, you will feel anxious as well. So this is one of the way to reduce for you to declutter the cables. Another one is storage. Again, a storage. So this space is just, I mean, in the foyer. It's the first thing you see as you enter the house. So we hide all the storage within this panel, as the image on the right. It's also a door to one of the guest rooms on the ground floor. Okay, child-proof design. I mean, this one is mostly, I believe, most of the people here are parents. So child-proof design. This is one of the top list and non-negotiable things when it comes to home designing. A safe, healthy space for your children to live, learn, and play. So if the design of the house itself is not child-proof design, accident may happen because more than 3.4 children around the world are unintentionally injured at home every year. So it's a legit concern for every parent. So this is how design can reduce anxiety for the parents and also for the kids. So for example, as you can see, I mean, this image on the left, so what we see is just probably a shelf. What they see is an opportunity for them to climb all the way to the top. So the first thing you can how to prevent accident is by putting a soft edge and surface in your design. For example, this cabinetry, this island, and even the wall. So this automatically reduce possibility of accident for your kids. Next one is the recessed tabletop. This one is more for the adult. You constantly worry that your mark or things might fall. So by just having this 5 mm or 10 mm recess, automatically, I mean, will have your space will have a safer feature. These two images on the right, this one happened to me all the time because I'm quite a clumsy person. I always hit a knob or handles for cabinet. So most of our design, we prefer to use a finger groove instead, for not just for the drawer and also for the sliding door as well. Okay, this one I refer back to this image. So this one is very dangerous for the kids because they will climb all the way up, especially toddlers. So our recommendation is to design a cabinet 750 mm or 75 cm and above. By this, I mean only the teenagers can climb, or those who, I mean, while the toddlers all couldn't climb unless they take chairs or something. Yeah. All right. The next one is artificial lighting. So there's 5 types of lighting. There's general lighting, there's ambient lighting, there's mood lighting, task lighting, and accent lighting. But I'm only going to touch 3 types of lighting, which is general, ambient, and mood lighting. So why is lighting is the most important element in design? Because lighting can completely transform the look of the space for better or for worse. I mean, and it's also, I mean, a good lighting can enhance the mood. So that's why lighting is one of the most important elements in design. I'm going to share my experience when I was in the hospital 2 or 3 years ago for some surgery. So this is a hospital, typical hospital. We look like this. The lighting is too bright. So I was on this bed, and they need to transfer me from ward A to ward 10. So that's quite a distance. So I was in a pain, and I'm facing up and have to look at all this bright light all the way from ward 1 and ward 10. So that's why this is where I learned about lighting, where lighting is very important. It couldn't be too bright and it cannot be too dim. Yeah, this is one example of lighting for our project. This is how we control the lighting. It creates the mood and desired ambience that you want. Okay, so just I mentioned, I will touch only 3 types of lighting. So there's general lighting, ambient lighting, and mood lighting. So general light, this one is often used to, it's a basic foundation of a lighting scheme. It provides a uniform glow over an entire room and illuminating a space functionally rather than aesthetic. But even this type of light, we rarely use this type of light. One, because it's very glaring, and second one, it's a bit ugly when it's not recessed. So we usually, for our project, say, yeah, this is the glare. When you stand distant from the light, you can see the glare. For someone who have a chronic glare, this type of light will create anxiety. So our recommendation is to use downlight with a recessed downlight, such as it is, because when you use this type of light, it still will illuminate the space, but you only can see the source of the light when you're right underneath the light itself. Okay, when it comes to Kelvin or temperature, ideal temperature would be from 2007 to 4007. It is because lower than 2007, 2005 and below, it will become too yellow, and you easily will get a headache because it's too yellow. And above 4000 is basically a daylight type of light, and it's too bright. That's why the ideal temperature would be 27 to 4000. Usually 2007 to 3000 we use in living space, dining, and dry kitchen. 35 is usually for home office or kitchen. Same goes with 4000, usually in the kitchen. Okay, next one is ambient light. Ambient light or indirect light. This is the light that enhance the space and create the mood. Because of its indirect profile, is softer than the general lighting. Usually we would option for, we will put a dimmable switch so you can get the desired mood that you want for ambient light. Yeah, some of sample of ambient light. Okay, the next one is mood lighting. So mood lighting is often the layer of lighting that's closest to eye level. For example, bedside lamp, pendant lamp, or floor lamp. So it's important to shade all this mood lighting from any glare or unsightly bare bulb with a filter. For example, like bedside table. So imagine you are lying down and then the light here is very glaring. It will give you a stress before you sleep because it's very, very harsh lighting. So we would recommend to use a fabric shade instead of a glass shade, because glass the lighting will be very harsh. The next one is furniture. So your home is, solace from your stress from outside world. By selecting the right furniture, it can contribute to a healthier lifestyle, both mentally and physically. So comfort is the only factor when picking out a furniture, because if you select the wrong furniture, it can make you feel uncomfortable, and which can contribute to society. Contribute to anxiety. Yeah. However, be careful if the guests are, if you're using too comfortable furniture. Some of the guests might be too comfortable and they might want to stay there forever. Like my mom and my auntie, where they always be the first to arrive in any open house, and they always be the last to leave. Yeah. So okay. So the first one is sofa. So there's a few criteria when you're selecting a sofa to reduce this anxiety. Whenever you choose a sofa, choose the high back sofa to relax your head, because if you have a low back sofa, it's more suitable for lobby where you don't sit too long and so on, and hence you cannot rest, have a proper rest. Yeah, even the armchair, we recommend a chair where you can fully rest with a footstool. And if if you can spend a little bit for a good type of furniture, this is one of my favorite chair for me to rest and relax. This is a King Living from King Living Australia. Cloud chair is their award-winning chair. So this chair are flexible and adjustable chair. So I can rest here, I can do my work here, and so it's multi-purpose. I can change the leg and also the backrest to the desired position that I want. Table. So this one again, back to the child-proof design. By purchasing or designing a table which have a soft edges like this, can reduce accident, hence give parents a peace of mind. Okay, and the last type of furniture is actually bed. So a decent night's sleep is a paramount of well-being, and a lot of this comes to the kind of bed that we sleep in. So if you, again, if you have a chance, invest in a good piece of mattress or the divan. The uncomfortable bed can reduce sleep by an hour each night. Although not many people won't make a connection between a lack of rest and anxiety with a bed. So yeah, a good piece of bed can reduce your anxiety. Okay, the last thing that we can touch is actually the garnishing. Garnishing, or the correct term is the decoration. It doesn't just make the space appealing and alive, but it also plays a role in a person's overall health. So by putting indoor plants in home, we can reduce tension in people by almost 40%. Because it reminds us of outdoor and nature and slower pace in life, which is instantly calming. So again, this is for the, most of us live in the urban area. So by putting all these flowers and indoor plants, automatically can reduce the stress. Next one is soft finishing. So for soft finishing, relate back to the good acoustic. So by having a piece of this runner and throw pillow and soft finishing here and there, automatically will absorb the sound from traveling throughout the house. Last one is the smell. So the simplest way to add a fragrance to enhance the smell of the house is by putting air purifier or essential oil. So this automatically will make the whole house smells smells nice and pleasant. So thank you very much for listening to me. Again, I mean, design preference is subjective. Some prefer minimal, some prefer modern classical. Some might feel too uncomfortable in a quiet place. In a nutshell, be aware of your anxiety, stay safe, and stay sane. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Afandi. That is quite a fruitful presentation. Thank you so much.
You are welcome.
Right, so you actually cover almost all aspects of interior design living space, especially for a residential project, because you started off with space planning and you go into detail with you know, lighting and furnishings and so on. So I think this actually is quite interesting, where we can actually help our viewers to understand the real role of interior designers, that, you know, the design is not just about aesthetic, but also how our design could control our users' health. So thank you so much for that.
You are welcome.
So I have a question to ask, but I think I'll start with reading out the questions from the floor.
Sure.
So we have questions from the chat box from Dr. Azlaini Abdul Aziz. You can read it directly, Fandi, if you want, but I will just write it. I'm just going to read it out.
Yeah. There's too many texts in there.
Yeah. Okay. So from Dr. Azlaini, Assalamualaikum, Encik Afandi.
Waalaikumsalam.
Not everybody have the luxury of space and budget to play with and to solve the issues as shown in the examples that you shown in your slides. So those who are of lower income and living in a small 2 rooms economy flats, for example, these are those who were hit hard by the pandemic and faces most severe issues and anxiety. You know, some even leads to suicide. So, in your expert opinion, how could you help this? How could you help these people solve these issues with a very small or no budget at all? Yeah.
Okay, thank you for the question. I think I did mention just now I cover the first, for example, the first topic is about space planning. So when you don't have the luxury of space, so the idea of adaptive planning, as simple as putting the curtains, for example, as a divider, that's, I don't think will cost a bomb. And for the flooring, for the material, for the acoustic material, for example, you don't have to put a laminate floor, and just by buying a carpet will automatically reduce the sound from traveling from space to space. Those are the few things that can help for those who don't have a budget. And indoor plants is it doesn't have to be huge indoor plant. It can be a set of small indoor plants and so on. Yeah. And for furniture, there's even the furniture from IKEA is comfortable actually. Where most people think that IKEA is not it's not a good, say it's not good quality and so on. Of course, you need to select even from IKEA. You need to select the right kind of furniture and so on. By using the criteria that I told you. So you cannot buy furniture usually from online, especially those that you see. So by testing it out, the way it suits your body, I think that's one of the way pretty much can reduce the stress by choosing the right type of furniture.
All right. So I hope that answer your question, Dr. Azlaini.
There's no side, and so I cannot help too much. There's only I only can answer within the knowledge that I have, lah. Yeah.
Okay. Right. I have a question, but I think I'll proceed with questions from the floors. We have another question in the chat box. Let me ask the host if we have more time for a Q&A session. Should we get one more question?
Yes,
Sure.
Sure.
we can have one more question. 2 minutes, please. Thank you.
All right. So, Fendi, which question would you like to?
You can choose. I mean, I'm afraid if I scroll, there's too many.
Okay, I'm just gonna take the short one from Jethro Alba. I'm sorry if I pronounce it not correctly. So, hello, I'm Jethro Alba from University of Tarumanagara.
Hello.
I would like to ask Ms. Effendi, can you recommend a tip for anxiety-free resort hotel for maximized experience? Thank you for sharing, sir.
Where? in Indonesia or Malaysia?
Anything that you know, I think.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, okay. One of the, I mean, regardless of the style of the hotel or resort, Westin have one. Westin Group, any Westin hotel have one of the best bed in the world. Their signature bed, which is a heavenly bed, proven to be, I mean, is known worldwide to be one of the best bed in the world. So again, I mean, resort. I mean, there's so many type of resort. I already mentioned, like for example, Westin is because of the good quality bed. If you prefer a resort that I have more, I mean, appealing for to reduce anxiety. I think most of tropical resort in, for example, in Bali, for example, like I say, I just speak Alila or Katamama. I mean, if the premium one, I would say Aman, one of my favorite. I mean, they focus on well-being and of the customer. Yeah.
All right, thank you. Okay, so I think I'm sorry that I can only take 2 questions from now as we have quite a limited time. But I hope, Mr. Effendi, probably you can answer these questions in the chat box later.
Sure. Yeah, along the way, I will answer the question.
All right, cool. Okay, so I think thank you so much again, Mr. Effendi.
Welcome. Sorry if I offend anyone.
Thank you so much for the knowledge. I think it's quite a long presentation and quite detailed one for the interior design students and professionals.
I hope everyone can. I mean, small or little. I hope everyone can learn something from it, lah.
Right. Okay. Thank you so much again. So I think that will be it for the first webinar. I'll pass these floors to our moderator, Ms. Anis.
Thank you so much. Thank you for Mr. Effendi Nazri and Mr. Rahman. Me myself really grateful. Can hear the webinar. It's extraordinary, brilliant presentation. I've learned a lot myself. Thank you. And now, before we start the second webinar, we would like to ask the 9 Dean. Please turn on the camera because the operator will take a pictures, and also yang terhormat Ibu Naning Adiwoso, please just for a second turn on the camera. Thank you. As the operator will take a pictures of all the deans and also Ibu Naning, our founder, one of our founder at HDII Jakarta. Now we will have the second webinar. I profoundly delighted to take an opportunity to introduce the guest speaker, Maui Hasegawa, with the title Interior Design in an Endemic. For sure, we can hear from the moderator about her later on, but she's a program leader, Master in Interior and Living Design, Product Design, Domus Academy, Milan, Italy. And also we gonna have moderator, Mrs. Augustina Ikawidiani, STMDS, Assistant Ahli, Sek Prodi Design Interior, Universitas Tarumanegara. I will pass the floor to the moderator, Mrs. Augustina Ikawidiani. Also for
yeah, okay. Thank you, Mrs. Anis Was and HDII for having me today. Good afternoon, everyone. It's my pleasure to welcome all of you here in webinar session 2, held in collaboration between HDII DKI Jakarta, Himpunan Desainer Interior Indonesia, and UiTM, University Technology Mara, Malaysia. I'm so excited as a member of HDII to be involved in this event. My name is Augustina Ika. From this time, I would direct the webinar. This session topic is interior design in an endemic, brought to you by HDII DKI Jakarta, and will be presented by Aoi Hasegawa from Domus Academy Milan. It's our pleasure to have her again with this related topic to our new normal today. Aoi Hasegawa earned her degrees, both bachelor and master in architecture and building science at Tokyo Metropolitan University. And then she launched her career as a set designer at Fuji Television Network. One of her work was sets for Japanese and international musical acts. What a great achievement working in international event, right? Then she moved in 2005 to Milan and earned her Master of Arts from Domus Academy Milan. She has worked with Domus Academy from 2006 and now as a program leader, Master in Interior and Living Design, also in Product Design at Domus Academy Milan. She also collaborates professionally with various companies and studios in the fields of product, interior, and strategy design. And now I present to you Aoi Hasegawa from Domus Academy Milan. Aoi, the time is yours.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for the introduction. Thank you very much for this great opportunity. I'm very happy to come back and have another conference with you. I don't know if you already know me. Thank you very much for the introduction. My name is Aoi Hasegawa. I'm the program leader of the Masters in Interior and Living Design and Masters in Product Design at Domus Academy Milan. Today, I was given a brief called Interior Design at Endemic Time and Space, and I would like to talk about the importance of interior design, the role of interior design, but just pointing out what happened at the beginning and during, and what's going to be after. So I titled my, I put the subtitle of my presentation as Interior Design as a Better Living Platform, because at the end of the day, interior design should act as a better living platform, is of course during the pandemic, but also after. So I would like to share with you my vision on interior design, also throughout this pandemic, but also to have more visionary ideas together. So I'll share my computer. Okay, I share, wait a second. Okay, this one. Okay, great. Do you see it?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
great. Okay, so well, at Domus Academy, we tackled this theme of COVID-19 since right after the beginning of pandemic, actually. So we analyzed it when we thought about what to do against it and for it, and to recover it from this condition. During the workshop, we had this brief many times, and these are the thoughts that I shared with my students too. So as I told you, I want to talk a little bit about what happened at the beginning of the pandemic and during, and I would like to share the vision for after. Okay, here you go. Okay, at the beginning, what happened? So designers and architects and design professionals acted quite quickly to act against this pandemic. And for example, some product designers and international architects share this open source protection to provide it for the medical services, and everyone could access. And they designed it quite quickly and produce it and provide it to help the people who are working in a very severe field. Some thought about also a sort of structure or a system where you can have safer activities while you are in a hospital, or also in a public spaces, not to touch the let's say the handles many times, but you can also open the door without using your hand. So those are all the open source so that everyone could access. So the designer acted respond quite quickly against this global issues, which is also a very interesting and important point to understand the role of designers to be activists and to solve the problem in a quicker way. So we had shields, we had handles, some invented masks to also communicate with patient in a better way, because when you cover your mouth, actually it's quite hard to understand what the other feels, and also for the visually impaired people, it's quite hard to read what the others are saying. So some thought about this. This is at the beginning, so it's quite primitive, quite let's say initial, but those are the ideas that the designers launched. This is a beautiful story happened in Italy, that in one hospital in one hospital, they missed the valve to provide the oxygen. So a designer, it is actually he's actually inventor, and he has his Fab Lab in Milan, that he when he understood, and when he heard that the news that this oxygen valve is missing, he started to 3D print it by also in contact with the medical company, and he provided lots of oxygen valves, which are the crucial elements to save the life of the people. And they successfully managed to provide thousands of valves by 3D printed. So this is also a good examples to show the role of the designers nowadays. You cannot just be a designer who can produce something aesthetically pleasing, but acting proactively against this global issue is also a good and important role of a designer. Some started designing a medical tests and kits in a more, let's say, comfortable way. And this is the project of Carlo Ratti. He's an Italian architect, but he's also a professor at MIT. And they thought about reusing the container to have this to cure the people who are in a very serious condition. And this is also an open source project, so everyone can use it. And by having this negative pressure, you can also provide diffusing the bacteria and the COVID in this way. So this is quite quickly structured and designed, but you can see that you can see the space transformation and different scenarios in which you can use this unit in front of the hospital or in big piazza, and the space, the normal space, can be transformed into a sort of medical treatment spaces. So this is the section, and you can see also various scenarios happening, and this is the prototyped real container. And Italy was one of the most hit countries against COVID. So at the beginning, we had a lot of number of patients, and we didn't know what to do. So this was a good action in order to feel safer and to feel also more secure against COVID. This is another project which transformed the airport as a hospital, and this was designed by Opposite Office and called Super Hospital. And you see this division placed in an airport. So the here in this pandemic situation, it's very important to understand how you can transform the normal space into emergency space or even multifunctional space, because as you spoke before, you know that not everybody has the enough space to have a luxurious project or bigger project, but the space transformation and idea of transforming one place to another or the multifunctional way is the crucial idea in this period. So this is also a sort of kit. It's more like it's more than space transformation to a unit, and you see that those units are designed to put the patients which are not in a severe condition, and next to it you have also a sort of shelter for the doctors who can stay for a night in a same place. And it is flat packed and can be also transformed, and it's portable. And at the beginning of the pandemic, there was a very interesting article written by this professor from this university. And she's basically saying the importance of interior design for disease containment. And you know that at the beginning, I think there were very few people thinking that interior design could contribute to the COVID-19, because interior design maybe is considered as a luxurious space or something aesthetically beautiful or pleasing, but she was quite right that interior design can also act as a disease containment, and in the future and from now on, interior design will be more and more important for our lives, because we spend 90% of our daily life in indoor, and our health is influenced by everything we touch in interior environment, and we stayed basically at home for a long time. So firstly, when she wrote this article in 2020 in February, it was quite eye-opening. And then we have a lot of proofs after this experience of living with pandemic. Because now in Milan, we have a boom of renovating the house, renovating the interior design. Okay, so I would like to speak a little bit about the during part. And I found this article from HDII. And here they're talking about the tips for architects working at home during COVID-19, and it was quite interesting to read. So basically, during the pandemic era, pandemic period, the house became your the house became your office, right? So everyone connected from their house, and we needed to have the space to connect and to have a conversation also online. So basically, your house became a sort of office. So there were a lot of problems of the noises and how to detach from the work and let's say the boundary between the personal life and your working life became quite blurred. So also this is related to your social behavior and your wellness, your mental awareness, your physical awareness, on and offs, right? This is so the home should act as different functions. Like home should have a lot of different functions. And so not only just stay and sleep and get relaxed, but you have to work, and you have to also physically exercise, or you have to also have a place to get relaxed and completely detached from your working life, professional life. So sheltering at home made us think how we can maximize our experience at home. Basically, those are the examples that you can see that they have smaller like studios in their house, but not everyone can have the enough space to subdivide the living space. So in our workshop, we thought about how to transform the one space to another scenarios. And here in a HDII article, they said that maintaining your workflow, software, and technology is quite also important. You have to be updated. So your station, your house should work as a workstation, and you have to have the better access, internet connection, software updated, technology updated. So those are the tips that the articles are talking about. So you have to also create healthy work-life balance, because when you work at home, obviously it's quite hard to maintain your life balance, because you don't know exactly when you can detach completely from your work. Opening your mind, online learning. So being isolated is the worst thing that during pandemic. So you have to be completely able to connect with someone else, which also helps you having better mental conditions. So, we analyze that creating new routine will be crucial during the COVID and pandemic era, and also for the future, because now the changes has been started and we can't stop anymore. So we all should get used to the new routine during the day. So this is also a very interesting analysis that here they showed a lot of different creative routines of the famous, worldwide famous, also historical famous characters, and you see that they have very specific routines. So we analyze also the daily routines to provide innovative ideas against COVID and so on. So here, this is an interesting case study to show how to transform your limited space. That this is the project in Madrid. It has only 50 square meters, and this space will act as a home, act as a house, act as an office, and act as a place to get together. So how? Let's see how they managed to do so. So basically, you have these sliding elements which you use in different ways. So when you slide it, you can also have a table, and you can also have the book library space, and also the bed, and here is the bathroom. So you can create different scenarios by sliding these elements. So here is the night scene where you have the bed out, and you can also access to the bathroom, and here you have your wardrobe, while when you have to cook, the kitchen unit can appear in this side, and you can have the table. You still have the access to the bathroom always, but also you can have like you can play in this open area. This is another scenario where you have more, let's say, public life, where you can have the sort of loans to receive your client, and here you can also work with a table. So this is the good examples of the transformation of the space. And what is coming after? What is coming after? This is also a very interesting and crucial question to all designers, architects in the world. But the world is getting borderless. This is my vision towards the interior design in the future. Meaning that one space is not only just for one function. One space can be used in a multidisciplinary way, just like we tested also at home during the COVID era. So for example, the residents here, this is a project from Duo from Turin. The architect name is Marcante e Testa, and they introduced a very creative scenario in a residence space that you see that a very strong narratives introduced by the architect. So the residence space is not only just a house, but also to communicate your stories, or act like as a scenography or set design in this case. So you clearly see that here you see an influence from a fairy tale, this is another project from the same architect, Marcante Testa from Turin. And here in this space, this apartment has a beautiful courtyard where you can see a lot of green. So the idea of the architect was to introduce also some greens from outside and included inside of the interior space. So they specifically selected this wallpaper. So you see a mysterious, let's say, a secret garden kind of representation. And the colors are also carefully selected to represent this idea of interior as an exterior space. You see also very characteristic use of colors from these architects. So you have to also have a deeper knowledge of the materials, the traditional materials, also the transparencies, and if you see through, you can if you use this kind of material, you can still see through the space behind, but you can subdivide it. So you see the architect's intention. This is a hotel designed by Patrizia Urquiora. She's a Spanish designer but based in Milan, and she has her career in Milan for a long time, so she's considered as a sort of Milanese designer architect. But this is a hotel called Roommate Julia. So the concept here was that you go to the hotel, but you are as if you are visiting your friend's house. So Roommate Julia, this hotel is designed as a room of Julia's, okay, of Julia's place. So there is this imaginary character called Julia, and this is her room. So they set the characteristics of this imaginary personality. And so when you visit the house, when you visit the hotel, you feel like visiting your friend's house. So it's also an examples of the borderless concept of the hotel, the hospitality, and residential design. So you see here also a very bold use of colors and materials, but those are based on the imaginary character of Julia. This is the examples of a hostel called Ostello Bello in Milan. They have 2 hostels in Milan, and many others also in Italy, like in Sicily. They're opening one also in Bologna, Florence, and they have also a lot in Myanmar. They are a world award-winning brand in terms of the hostel company. And here their idea was to provide a platform where the locals and the visitors can interact. So this place was get quite famous, not only for the visitors but also the locals, that they go and spend their time as a urban living space. So the interaction between the locals and visitors went quite well. So this brand became quite famous. And you see clearly from their furnishings and furniture that they wanted to provide some cozy living space open to anyone in a urban context. So then this is the examples of a showroom that this shows the let's say blurred boundary between the showroom and art place, art gallery, and artwork. This is a project by Nendo done in New York for Campa. It's a Spanish shoe brand. And here you don't see their products so many, but you see these white shoes. So this proves the fact that the showroom is not anymore a place to just sell their product. The showroom is a place to communicate the identity of the brand, basically. So the idea of the designer here was that they wanted to have this feeling that you as if you're walking on the wall. So they positioned this white iconic product from Campa everywhere, and they just positioned a few products from Campa inside of the showroom, but they successfully communicate the idea of transmitting the brand's identity. So this became quite famous and communicate in many channels, and they achieved the successful goal. This is another showroom of Vitra. This is situated in Vitra House, projected by Herzog and Mouron. Those very iconic, the house-like building in their headquarters. And here you see clearly the world of Alice in Wonderland. So of course, this is a showroom to showcase their product, but they introduced this strong storytelling of Alice in Wonderland. So you see their product in different colors and things, but basically what they wanted to communicate was the brand's identity and a new experience with their product. Okay, Rossana Orlandi, she's a lady who is one of the gurus of design, Milanese design field. And now we are currently having a design week, which is irregular. Actually, design week happens always in April in Milan, but due to the COVID, we postpone, and we have now design week in September for this year. So Spazio Rossana Orlandi is one of the must places to go during the Salone Milan Design Week. And she was a fashion designer and a knit designer before, but approximately 15 years ago, she decided to open her own gallery. And she started presenting young designers, especially the Dutch designers, very conceptual one. And immediately she became a sort of epicenter of the design in Milan. So this showroom is a place of interaction with design and art, and you should when you visit Milan, you should go there and experience this beautiful place that present a lot of up-to-date designs and selected projects from by Rossano Orlandi. Okay, this showroom is the showroom of Louis Vuitton in New York, and you see the collaboration between Louis Vuitton and Japanese artist called Yayoi Kusama, and she applied her her characteristic polka dots, very iconic one, onto the surface of the building of Louis Vuitton. So the art piece became a sort of the landmark in an urban scenery of New York. So this is actually the boundary between the artwork, art piece itself, and architecture. Okay, sorry, I went the other way. Okay, so understanding art is crucial to be a designer nowadays, because they anticipate, they also be an activator. So you and we get also inspired by art to come up with the strong narratives or concept for our interior design. So art is something that you have to explore definitely. So for example, Yayoi Kusama has this very iconic polka dots that can applied in many different ways, like on paintings or in installations. And in this case, it's a lighting installation, but she kept always this idea of thousands of dots. And installation is a very strong way to communicate your ideas and identities. For example, here is the exhibition of the fashion brand called COS. So COS is a fashion brand, but during the Milanese Design Week, it's one of the must-see places, because they always have very interesting installations in recent years. So this is one of the very first installation that COS did in collaboration with Nendo. Nendo is the Japanese designer. And here they basically don't showcase their product. This installation is not it's not aiming at selling their product, but they wanted to communicate their brand identity. So here you see many white shirt from COS, and this you see this path, and when these white shirts come into this black wire frame, it turns to be black, and it's visually very impactful, but it's not aiming at selling the product, but people still remember the installation, and they see that they talk about it, and the COS became a sort of a brand for designers in Milan. I mean, it's a part of also the fast fashion, because they are a part of H&M company and so on, but still they successfully communicate their quality, their ideas, their identity. So COS became quite also familiar and popular among designers in Milan. This is also examples of an installation done for the brand Cartel. Cartel is the Italian furniture brand. They produce a lot of plastic furniture, And here in this case, a designer, a Japanese designer, Tokujin Yoshioka, that you saw also at the beginning of this presentation, and with a shield and so on. Tokujin Yoshioka made this installation to communicate the quality of the materials that he used for his furniture design for cartel. So together with his furniture, which was transparent and very powerful to communicate, he also put a lot of these materials, these sticks, these transparent sticks, to communicate the identity and the characteristics and the beautiness of this material in relation to the transparencies and the quality and so on. So sometimes when you go to the installation, you don't see any commercial aspects, but you see very artistic representation, which hits you and remains inside of you, maybe better than just showcasing the commercial product. Okay, this is the also an installation. This was the exhibition done by Cartel in 2020 at our Palazzo Reale in Milan. Palazzo Reale is the royal palace in Milan, and the name of this exhibition was The Art Side of Cartel. So, of course, Cartel is a brand. It's a very innovative brand with innovative technologies and handicrafts, but they wanted to communicate their art side of the brand. So here they showcase their iconic furniture together with the very characteristic form of art that represents the Italian architecture as well. And here they mainly speak about the art side of the brand. Okay, here it's the installation always from the Milan Design Week. This is the installation from Nendo, the Japanese designer. And the title of this installation was 50 manga chairs, that he showcased 50 different chairs that represents the idea of Japanese manga, Japanese cartoon. So in a cartoon, in animation, you usually see the effect, the sound effect or the movement effect in a very visual way. So he tried to do the same thing applied on the physical object. So here in this case, you see that some chairs are moving or rotating or shaking or jumping, and the chair itself represent the movement. So here, for example, this chair is walking, this chair is swinging, this chair is rotating, and this chair is jumping, and so on. So this is also the examples of importance of how to communicate your, let's say, brand identity throughout different contexts, different medias. So this is an example, always by Nendo, that this is actually a gym space. So it's a climbing wall, okay? But at the first glance, you never say that this will be the climbing wall, but it looks like a art gallery, right? So this is also an examples of blurred boundary between one context to the other. Okay, this is a restaurant we have in Milan. Also here, not only just eating or providing foods, restaurant is the place to also experiment and give extraordinary feeling. Here in this case, they have this long table that changes drastically this this place with this big chandelier. Some restaurants are more, let's say, cozy and homey to represent the idea of being at home. So this place is designed to be like in a grandmother's house. So this is also on examples of the blurred boundary between the house and the restaurant. Okay, and especially after the pandemic, we understood the importance of having contact with nature, because when we are inside of the house, we really miss the air outside, staying outside, sunlight, nature, and so on. So there are a lot of tendencies nowadays to include the exterior space inside of the interior space. For example, this is the house designed in Japan, in Tokyo, Tsuruoka House, and the architect designed this this building meant to house a lot of different creatures. So not only just human beings stay in this house, but also plants, nature, insects that can coexist inside of this building. So you can see.
Excuse me, Mrs.
Yes.
Oh yeah, Asegawa, how about we have another 1 minute, because so many people really wants to ask so many questions already.
Okay, great. Then
is it possible if we short it out 1 minute and then we go with the question and answer so people learn more from you?
Then I can finish my presentation here, concluding that interior and exterior, the boundary between interior and exterior is getting blurred and blurred, you know, so you can see a lot of you know, contamination between interior and exterior. You see also some parts are even inside, and then there are many others, like also this bean house in Vietnam, Ho Chi Minh, and you can also reduce the costs of the you know, air conditioning and so on. So the interior design, it has infinite possibilities. So I would like you to explore this possibilities in your project. So this is my lecture, and I was asked also to show, if you don't mind, I would like just to introduce the competition we're having right now for DOMS Academy. Just 1 minute. Is it okay for you?
Yeah, okay, perfect.
Okay, great. Then I can share. So we currently have, wait a second. We currently have 2 different competitions. One for Masters in Interior and Living Design. Let's say, okay, for this one. Okay, So at GEMS Academy, we offer a lot of scholarships based on the design competition. So here is the first one for the Masters in Interior Living Design in collaboration with Lissoni and Partners, which is the very worldwide famous Italian studio. And we ask students to design a innovative residential project. So basically, the brief is you can go through the brief, but if I summarize the brief, you have to come up with the very innovative residential projects, taking into consideration the transformable aspect. Okay, so the space can be used in different ways. So how you can transform this residential space. So this is one project. And another competition project is for the Masters in Product Design that I'm going to show you quickly now. It's in collaboration with Italian brand, lighting company called Nemo. And here, the brief is to come up with the innovative lighting products in a post-pandemic era for your wellness. Okay, so you can go through and you can check the brief. But throughout this competition, we offer also scholarships so that the students can afford to come to GEMS Academy. Okay, thank you so much.
Yeah. Okay, what an awesome presentation. Thank you, Ewi, also for the information of the competition. Yeah, from your presentation today, we could see the tendency in interior design at this endemic era that interior design role has changed from the beginning of the pandemic, during and after. But one thing is for sure, that interior design should act as a better platform for any situation. Right. Now we already have questions from our participants. Let me read one of them. First come from Rostam Yaman from UiTM. Greeting from KL. Dear Mr. Awi Hasgawa, since COVID-19 will be endemic and will stay with us forever, what do you think of auto-sanitizing of our virus-free spaces or personal bubbles? Do these challenges will be materialized in near future? Regards.
Well,
Please.
yes,
Yeah.
thank you very much for the question. It's quite interesting to understand. In my opinion, this is quite personal. In my opinion, I would say I would rather try to coexist with the situations around, not by just isolating by ourselves, because we are a part of the nature, and auto-sanitize and protect ourselves by isolating, for me, is not the best choice, best solution. So we have to think also by studying traditional ways and also technologies, future scenario, but we have to coexist with other creatures in a world. This is my personal opinion, but for sure at the beginning I showed you many let's say case studies that sanitize and protect ourselves, but that was for the beginning of the pandemic, because at the beginning we didn't know what the COVID was. And now we gradually we start understanding the characteristics, and this will be, I think, will be repeated also, unfortunately. But this is the first one, but not the last one, probably. We have to really coexist with this situation, but not by isolating in a bubble.
Yeah, okay, thank you for the answer. And maybe I would read once more because the time limit.
Yes.
This one from Azlaini Abdul Aziz. Hi, Miss Awi. First of all, thank you for delivering a very inspiring presentation. My question, in your expert opinion, how could we create and retain personal meaning and identity in comfortable spaces, particularly in public spaces? Cheers.
Okay, thank you so much for the question. I would say that you really have to understand your identity, your culture, okay? You don't have to copy and paste what is done in a world. You first have to understand what is around you, and what's your culture in a very deep way, okay? Of course, you know that we have so-called contemporary design, but it's you that you transform and translate your own culture in a contemporary way. But I highly recommend you not to lose your culture, not to lose your identity, and it's in you, right? It's in you already. So you really have to understand you yourself, what's your root, what's your culture, what's your heritage around, and then you can come up with a good idea, and also in a public space.
Yeah.
Okay, is it am I answering you?
Yeah, hopefully yes.
Okay, so don't copy and paste, but it's inside of you already. Okay, so you have to discover it by yourself.
Yeah, it's a personal thing, right? Would you please answer one more question?
Sure.
Awi, yeah. Konnichiwa, Miss Awi Hasegawa. Very
Konnichiwa.
presentation. Living in endemic meaning we need to live with this COVID-19 for a very, very long time. In regards to the current social distancing requirement, how do you think this will affect the overall interior space planning in future, especially for the commercial area? Thank you, and UiTM. Yes, please.
Thank you very much. Very, very good question. Actually, it's already there that we everywhere in a public space we need to have this social distancing, so it really affects our behavior. Our behavior, our routine, daily routine will be drastically changed. So we should and this remains, and unfortunately the behaviors will be changed. For example, we're going to shake hands very few, maybe less than before, or we hug each other less than before. But it will definitely changed. And also it should be included in the interior design project as well. It will be the interior design will reflect this this aspect, definitely.
Yeah, thank you. Unfortunately, we have reached the time to wrap this webinar with the conclusion. First, at the beginning of the pandemic, interior design also acts as disease containment since 90% of daily life is indoor. And two, during the pandemic, interior design should support the activity, especially in home, not only to live in, but also to work in and to relax, to manage the stress from working. Space should be transformed into different functions. And third, after the pandemic, space become borderless, multifunction. The interior design tend to change into a friendly space that people feel familiar and comfortable with, and also focus on interactive space. Also, commercial space has another function as an installation art, as interior design become a connection of our soul to arts, right? Mrs. Anis, this discussion is so exciting, don't you agree? So once again, thank you, Awi Hasegawa, and all participants for our discussion. I'm Augustina Ika, and then I will return this event to Mrs. Anis Walls. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Wow, thank you very much. Thank you very much. Subarasi presentación.
Arigatou
Thank you very much.
gozaimasu.
ありがとう。どういたしまして。 Thank you for Moy Hasegawa and Ibu Augustina Ikawidiani STMDS. Frankly, anatakara manabu no wa totemo ureshi. So, arigatou gozaimasu. Moy Hasegawa must be very, very wonderful. Subarashi presentação. Okay, now we finished the 2 beautiful webinars, and I hope we all can get the good knowledge. We can get something positive from this, which is very wonderful, both of the seminars. Thank you once again for Mr. FND and Miss Maui Hasegawa. And last but not least, we're gonna invite Miss Nabila Aris from Malaysia. We present Nabila Aris as program chairman of our events. Okay, Mrs. Nabila Aris, time is yours. Thank you.
Thank you, Anis, and thank you, Mr. FND, for the presentation on the webinar 1. And arigatou gozaimasu. And grazie per la tua presentazione. My name is Nabila Aris White, and I am the program chairperson for International Design Labs and Center IDL+C 2021. So International Design Lab and Competitions is, before I start, I would like to share my slides to briefly explain this program. So the International Design Lab and Competition IDL+C is a collaborative webinar event, online critic session and poster contest between Himpunan Desainer Interior Indonesia HDII and UiTM Center of Studies for Interior Architecture CSIA. So the program aims to engage professionals, educators and students in an international exchange of ideas, embracing a diverse knowledge of creativity and innovation. So as previously mentioned, we have 8 universities from Indonesia participating in this program, and we are pleased to invite 3 international speakers from Italy, the United Kingdom, and the United States of America to share their thoughts. So the objective of this event is to promote the working partnership between HDII and UiTM, establishing the format for further collaborations in the future. Next slide, thank you. All right, so this is the competition design brief. So students are required to find solution to the competition's theme of interior design during an endemic. Students will be given an online platform to share their daily activities. To exchange classes will start tomorrow and continue for the next 3 weeks. So the design will be judged based on 5 sets of criteria. Number 1 will be social and environmental impact. 2, research and insights. 3, thought processes. Number 4 is viability, and last but not least, creativity and innovation. Next. So next, all right, okay. Competing in the event. So we have 60 participants, 10 professionals and lecturers from Indonesia, 10 lecturers from Malaysia, 20 students from Indonesia, and 20 students from Malaysia. Therefore, we will have a total numbers of 10 teams with 6 people per person. And I would like to introduce our judges for design competition. It goes, number 1 is Managing Directors of Design Wilks, Interior Designer Sirajul Fahmi, TJ Fine Art Founder, Datuk Professor Tajuddin Ismail, our President of HDII, Rina Renville, and last but not least, we have Design Director of Zone 19, Francis Suja Seputra. And the last slide will be, all right, okay. Thank you, Sarah. So the last one will be competition schedule. So there will be classes between mentors and mentees. scheduled between 7th of September until 20th of September. So the team's final designs will be presented to the judges for review on the 23rd of September. And the event will be open for public viewing. So we're going to open for public viewing, all right? So, and following the judges' Q&A sessions, Program Leader for Design Instituto Marangoni, London, Julie Ross, will give a speech to conclude the day's event. And on the 27th September, the award ceremony will be opened by guest speaker Bill Bensley, American-born founder of acclaimed Bangkok and Bali-based design studio, called Bensley. Following Bill's speech, the winner and appreciations awards will be given out, concluding the event for International Design Lab and Competition IDL+C 2021. So I thought that this thought implementation, the proposed IDL+C program, the objective of developing an academic, cultural and research cooperation between the Malaysian and Indonesian institutions will be confidently achieved to the mutual benefit of all those involved. Thank you very much. I will now pass back to the MC Anis. Thank you.
Thank you. Wonderful, Nabila. Okay, so after Nabila, this is the time we're closing the webinars and the open ceremony. Kind thanks all the speakers involved once again. We trust everybody will enjoy the workshop and appreciate the time and effort involved by the committee in making this workshop happen. We hope you all enjoy the competition and the collaboration. Jangan lupa ya, don't forget to watch open judging ya. Itu tanggal 23 September 2021 and awardingnya nanti 27 September 2021. Good luck mentor mentee. See you all. Kalau mulai lihat jadwal cek ya. Cek di Instagram HDII DKI Jakarta. Okay, everybody, thank you very much. See you and enjoy the collaboration. Bye-bye. Assalamualaikum.
Foto bersama dulu. Foto bersama dulu, Nis.
Okay. Oh yeah. Please don't leave for a while, please. Let's turn on the camera. We take a picture together. Once again, arigatou gozaimasu for OI.
Siapa yang mau tester dari sini? Nggak ada ya?
Foto ya. Okay.
Nggak lama.
Who's counting?
Mbak Anis aja.
Okay. I'm counting.
Mbak Anis aja yang counting ya.
Okay. We open the camera. I'm counting now. 1, 2, cheers. Okay, let's clap together for closing this webinar. Thank you so much, everybody. Bye-bye.
Thank you, everyone.
Bye-bye. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Endo. Bila, Mbak Atis. Thank you. Thank you. Mentor.
Bye-bye.
Alhamdulillah.
Iya, Mas. Dong itu. Sudah isi absen kan semuanya? Enggak yang punya itu di materi. Silakan isi absen yang belum.
Sukses Marina. Adik-adik.
Maaf. Makasih banyak ya, Pak Rohadi, tulisannya kebalik loh, titik temunya loh.
Oh iya.
Ya, enggak apa-apa.
Ya.